nice to focus on growth once you have, with some certainty, you know that what you build is what people want. Like there's some, either through customer development or through metrics, you can prove that what you've built is something that people like to use and something that makes their lives better. Sometimes you need growth to make that product better. So if you build Voxer and you have only one user, it's not a good product because you have no one to talk to. So sometimes you definitely need the product gets better with more growth. But that really depends. Like you can probably prove in isolation, again, in like some test groups, that this social product is really great and it's going to work even better with more people. So you probably do that in small scale. I think customer development is around figuring out if you build something that people actually care about. And there are, I wouldn't say shortcuts, but there are some these ways that you can actually find out if you build something people want. First of all, you should go and talk to people and show them what you built. There are some other ways to do that as well. I think a lot of the product development right now is trying to prove a hypothesis with as little effort as possible, or little investment as possible. And those things are true both for customer development and for growth. So an extreme example would be I come up with something that I think people want, buy ads towards that, and people click on those ads and go through one landing page screen, and then there's nothing else. That would be an extreme example of that, where it turns out that people wanted what I had told them that I had, but I didn't have it. So that would be an extreme example of like trying out a hypothesis around growth or customer development, I think. On mobile, one realization I had is that the vast majority of all mobile growth actually happens when people are next to each other. So you actually talk about the things you're using, and you're right next to someone else. And that, I think, isn't necessarily the case when you talk about web growth. Like, you might talk about things, how they're growing on the web, but the person, like, you're usually not next to a computer. So I've been thinking a lot about how to optimize that flow, like when you actually are showing this product in your hand, and somebody's looking at that, like, what is the best way to take advantage of that moment? I think all apps have this moment when they're somewhat magical. Like you figure out, okay, I know what this app is about. I know what this product is about. I know what it solves to me. So Airbnb can be the moment you walk into an Airbnb listing and it's just beautiful. It's just like a place you can't rent. There's no hotels that provide this, and there's no other product that can give you this experience. In Voxer, it might be that first time you open Voxer and you have people you haven't heard from years who just leave you a voice message. You hear their voice. Instagram, you see those photos the first time. There's always this magical moment where, okay, I get what this app is about. I get what this product is about. I get how it's going to make my life better. When you get that, you probably want to take advantage of that emotion. You want to try to figure out how you take that emotion and share that story and enable people to share that story. And it's not easy to make that work, but like that's when people are in the kind of best mindset of telling the world about the product. So for web, I think there are historically a number of platforms you can try to optimize for. The same principles around growth and psychology. So if at Airbnb we're trying to get more people to become hosts, we're really trying to understand the psychology around why are you a host and what made you become a host in the beginning, and how do you describe Airbnb when you talk to a friend. And the same with Voxer. Like, why did you start using Voxer in the beginning? Like, what problems does it solve for you? So those principles apply on the web as well. I think there are different type of channels, like SEO is one channel that works fairly well understood on the web. Some of the social platforms have worked pretty well, like Twitter, Facebook, some other ones. And on mobile, like, these platforms are just starting to work. So like mobile growth on Facebook was not something people talked about a year ago. Now it's something that everyone does. Like, we all buy ads on Facebook. So I think platform change pretty fast sometimes. I think when I started working on Voxer, there was very few people that knew why things were going on mobile. They just said, oh, we have a great product and therefore it's growing. I think now people have a better understanding to say that I have a great product. I can track every single step of kind of the growth funnel for that product, and I actually know why things are growing. I actually know exactly, like, if I have some certain growth rate or some certain number of downloads, I know exactly where they're coming from. That probably wasn't true like a year or 2 years ago. Growth absolutely applies to to more things than just consumer. So a good enterprise example might be, I'm trying to get this company on my product, and one way to do that is to call the CIO and say, hey, you want to buy my product. Usually that doesn't work, so you want to get some of the users on the product. So you get some of the people that work at the company on the product, and some of them actually might sign up with their company email. And that's great. And then some of them might not. But through data science, you might be able to figure out, okay, let's say it's Dropbox or something like that, or Box. Okay, the same people that are using this personal email, are talking or sharing files with this person who's using my corporate email. You kind of can build a network of people that are actually using the app. And then you already have a company using your product. It's just you don't have anyone who pays for it. So there's definitely ways to figure out like how to get from like I don't have to talk to the CIO to like I can get people using my app, using my product in an enterprise environment anyway, and just try to go from there and say, okay, you're already using our product, you should probably like take control of it and pay for it and like get all this benefit you get of paying for it. I think tactics change a little bit. I think you always want to, like in the very beginning, you want to get to critical mass to prove some hypothesis around your product. You want to prove that this is something people want to use. You might have to be super creative in the beginning. You might have to like do content marketing. You have to like put out your name everywhere. You might have to buy some ads. You have to be really creative about the first couple of thousand users because you need them really fast to prove some of the hypotheses you have. You can't really rely on friends or friends of friends because they will give you a biased view of your product. You want to get the people that really just have no opinion or preconceived notions about what you're building. Once you have that, you want to look at engagement of those users. Like once you have people that are coming in, you want to see like how are they engaged, and engagement numbers can prove like kind of product market value. Like it can prove if what you built is what people want. You can also do that by just looking at customer development and interviewing people, see them using your product. You can definitely do things around quality analysis as well. So there's some customer development where you can just ask people like, how would you feel if you could no longer use this product? And you usually get a pretty accurate answer. Like if you build something people want, they'd be like, no, you're going to take away my product. And you'd be like, no, we're just asking you how would you feel if you take away your product. So if you get that answer, you'll probably build something people really depend on and people really like. If people don't care when you say, how would you feel if I remove this product? You probably haven't built something that they actually care about. So I think on the engagement metric side, you can do some analysis. On the quality analysis, like quality measures, you can do some analysis. Once you have these things and you feel like I built something people want, you just want to spend time focusing on growth rate and compounding growth. Like that's basically all you want to do. Spend time on building things for growth that you will benefit a year or 2 years from now.